Good afternoon and greetings wherever you are globally. Thank you for tuning in to Aisha Speaks Jade podcast platform, where I am none other than Aisha, affectionately known as Jade. Um, you know my spell, RESPECT. You put that on this, and it's all good with me. It's all good. So I'm really kind of tired. So if I'm not in my best bubbly mood, please forgive me. Just some personal things going on. I've already spoke it out and said it. Chest a little tight. That's because I'm under some stress. I hope you guys can see me. I'm sorry. I hope that you can see me. It's raining here where I'm at in Atlanta, where I reside at, Atlanta, Georgia. And just life has just been busy. Coming into 2019, it's just been so much going on, positive, negative, or indifferent. But I wanted to at least be caught up with my content. So again, I welcome you to Aisha Speaks Jade podcast platform. I am your host. So I am officially caught up as of today. This is a live video for Sunday, March the 3rd. Hope I'm right. Yes, March the 3rd, 2019. I feel like I am not as, let me see. Okay, I hope that you guys can see me because I just kind of closed the blinds and things of that nature. When it rains, sometimes I'm in a good mood, sometimes I'm in a not so good mood. And right now it's like one of those not so good moods. But Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, it will be all right. However it turns out, it's going to have to be okay. But I will say I appreciate all the positive vibes, the genuine positive vibes and positive energy that I have received. So today, I've been talking about how we can get back being focused. You know, if you listen to my other two previous audios that I spoke on, it was how we can get back into getting things done, getting things done and how we can get back focused. Also, you know, the reasons why we are not doing it. And then I want to currently speak on how putting your phone away, and I am using my phone because I want to speak on this information. I am known as the hashtag researcher. Okay, I know there's plenty of researcher people out here, but I'm amongst those hashtag researchers. And I want to speak about how putting your phone away will create more business opportunities. How to put your phone away to create more business opportunities. So hopefully I will not be too lengthy with you guys. I thank those that tune in live as well as I thank those that will listen to the replay, which will be available shortly after. Okay, so how can we create more business opportunities by putting our phones away? So we're on our phones a lot. That's apparent, right? All of us are on our phones quite a bit. We text, emails, use apps, take pictures, and occasionally call people, okay? Like that whole call people seems like it's getting really obsolete because a lot of times we FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, Google app, 1-800 conference calls, um, um, Marco Polo, email, taking pictures, you know, texting. Like we do a lot of that. We've really kind of gotten away a lot of times, not all the times, but a lot of times from actually talking on the phone, having real conversations, or, you know, meeting up face to face to talk, to have dialogue. So technology really has taken a lot of control and has definitely become the norm. So as integral as this device has become to our lives, there's a time and place to be on it, especially when in professional settings. As our world becomes increasingly digital, opportunities for face-to-face engagement are becoming even more important. I would like it to. If you find yourself choosing a screen over participating in a conversation, you may miss out on potential business and job opportunities. People often forego chances to make great important connections because they're too busy on their phones to notice what's happening around them. We've all been guilty of this, okay? So don't act like you haven't been guilty of this because you're lying to yourself, because you have. So we all been guilty of this at some point. But awareness is the key to minimizing this behavior and maximizing opportunities. So consider the following professional settings, okay? Consider these following professional settings, which is networking events. Many of us feel uncomfortable initiating conversations in a room of people we don't know. However, taking out your phone to temporarily relieve your discomfort, fear, or insecurity can be detrimental in the long run. No one wants to approach and talk to someone who's looking down at their phones. Those people who are passing you by could be great new contacts for a job or business opportunity. When you're on a bar or food station line, instead of checking Facebook or the score of a game, put your phone away and talk to the person next to you. You have a built-in commonality. You're both waiting to do the same thing. That person could end up being the best contact you met at that event, but you'll never know if you don't look up from your mobile glow. Other times to consider engaging in conversation instead of hiding behind your phone includes when you arrive to register, check your coat, or pick up your attendee badge. You can meet great contacts in these types of situations. Those emails you were going to check can wait a few more minutes, right? Can't they? So if you want tips on following up after meeting a new contact, there's a good read called How to Follow Up Effectively When Networking. This is supposed to be a good read. I will challenge myself to read this as well. But again, it's called How to Follow Up Effectively When Networking. Next would be meetings, okay? Meetings. When waiting for a meeting to start, do you find yourself taking out your phone to check your email? Yes, I have. Or even stock prices or respond to a text. Most definitely. Excuse me. Everyone is busy and wants to be efficient, but engaging with others while sitting around the table prior to the meeting is a perfect chance to have a casual conversation or ask a question that may provide insight into something. Excuse me again. Ooh. Those quick chats can enable you to start or enhance a relationship with a current or potential client, colleague from another department, a vendor, or a strategic partner. It's also a good time to engage with senior leaders, particularly if you're trying to increase your visibility within your company. Or perhaps if you have your own business and you're looking to meet someone who has, if you're looking to possibly have a great connection or networking, it's just good practice to, introduce yourself and start and start some type of conversation instead of always being on the phone, texting, checking whatever, emailing, things like that, or even getting on the phone talking, okay? Because some people may really think that that's rude. So in contrast, if you're on the phone, you minimize that opportunity. Next is interviews, okay? Interviews. So when sitting in the reception area before an interview, you may want to calm your anxiety by taking out your phone as a distraction. Unless someone is sending you a last-minute information that will help you make a more powerful impression on the person with whom you're meeting, it's better to pay attention to your surroundings. You can learn a lot about a company and its culture through observation. So it's always good if you're going into an interview beforehand to know something, a little history about that company that you could potentially get hired at, that just stands out to that person who's interviewing you when you know something about them, instead of always asking, well, what's the pay right away? Not that that's not important, what your salary could be, but find some other type of conversation, especially if it's in regards to that company. Let them know that you've done some research about that company. That's a definite plus. So is there an opportunity to chat with the receptionist? Are there marketing materials to pursue? When employees walk by, can you figure out the dress code? How is employee interaction, especially tone and level of collegiality? Excuse me. You won't see these things if you're on the phone reading your 23rd article about interviewing. So those are some good tips. Who would know things better than the person that's sitting at the front desk, the receptionist, the secretary, the admin, whoever, and yes, be kind of mindful of how they dress. So that way, if you are offered that job, you'll know how the dress code is in advance. It's just little tips like these that make it much better. Next is conferences. So when you're at a conference and sitting at a table for breakfast or lunch with people you don't know, you should be pursuing new connections instead of refreshing your inbox. Before the start of a keynote or breakout session, take advantage of the chance to chat with the people you're sitting next to. That's always kind of an icebreaker because most of the time you may not be familiar with who is going to be sitting at your table. So I know it can be a little difficult, but kind of get out of that comfort zone and perhaps start that conversation. And or if someone is starting a conversation with you, please don't be rude and be on your phone while that person is talking to you. Someone to your left or right could be your next client, boss, colleague, or great professional contact. If you're unsure what to say, talk about the speakers that's there at that conference, the agenda, organizers or sponsors, anything to break the ice. And lastly, elsewhere. You don't have to be at a meeting, a conference, or work event to put your phone away, start conversations, and make professional connections. Other instances include waiting for the elevator in your office building, particularly when you know there are companies in that building that you love to do business with or work for. When traveling and in social settings, such as wine tastings, holiday parties, golf outings, or etc. If you're on your phone, you may not realize it, but you're putting up a wall that impacts personal engagement. Sometimes that may appear to other people that you don't want to be bothered, so they may think to themselves, well, why should I be bothered? Why should I talk to that person? Because he or she is constantly on their phone, texting, doing whatever. So I'm just going to go to the next person who seems like they're interested and they're not on their phone and they want to start a conversation. So in professional settings, if you're always on your phone, that becomes part of how people see you, and it can negatively impact your personal brand. If it is necessary to check your phone, step into a hallway or corner away from the group so it's less obvious. That's just kind of a respectful thing. Instead of being right there where you start off, everybody's in a conversation, your phone goes off, and you're actually standing there having a conversation while a conversation is already going on. That's rude. That's not kind of rude. That's rude. Just step away outside, hallway, somewhere where, again, it's less obvious. So we're all multitaskers, and phones are vital to our lives. But be aware of when and how frequently you're on yours. Don't miss out on opportunities to initiate or participate in conversations and connect and build relationships because you're on your phone by habit. Take advantage of times when you have the potential to make good contacts and potentially uncover business and job opportunities. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and also thank you in advance for listening to the replay, which will be available shortly after I'm done. I invite you all to my social media platforms. I am currently right here on Facebook right now where I'm talking, as well as Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and I have a YouTube channel, which you can find me on all of them at Aisha Speaks Jade. Again, that's Aisha Speaks Jade. I'm on Facebook right here, guys. Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and I have a YouTube channel which you can go to and subscribe by hitting the thumbnail, as well as hit that notification bell for all alerts to stay in the know, okay? No excuses. Make sure, guys, I cannot stress it enough. Make sure to have that self-care toolbox, have that self-awareness, have self-care, self-love, self-respect, know your worth, as well as know your value. You can be your own best friend. I'm not saying that you can't have best friends or have good friends, but be good friends with yourself, okay? Because when you're not good to yourself, no one else will be good to you. Unfortunately, people prey on when they see that you're down or if there's any negativity around you. Not saying that everything is a white picket fence, because it's not. But when you know yourself, that's powerful. Create your greatness as well as create your happiness. With that being said, I send out positive and amazing vibes and energy. Continue to enjoy this Sunday wherever you are at. Be awesome today, tomorrow, and moving forward. With that being said, be good to yourself. Ashe and Namaste.